wouldn't want to stick my foot in my mouth.
Everybody that's anybody in the music business performed live from Studio A.
It's Columbus radio at its finest.
They like it. That's where the support comes from.
I love WCBE, and I can't imagine Columbus without it.
Right now I'm over in Studio A with Susan Ammons. It's been a few years since her last visit. We're going to catch up with her a little bit today. She's not in town to play a show, but she's here to play for you here this morning on this program. Welcome back to Studio A.
Hey, good to be back.
Well, let's just get started with a song. What's the name of the first one, and is it off your new release?
It sure is. This is the first song off of the brand new album called No Restraint. The song title for this is called Don't Break My Heart. I don't follow the rules. I don't read the signs. I got a hard head, a left foot on run red lights. I don't play to lose. I better win the game. I got a full deck, hands down. I walk with no shame. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart, yeah. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart. I'm giving you a heads up before I tear you down. I'm a hot-blooded coal mammoth jammer when the sun goes down. You better watch your step, don't cross the line, 'cause you'll be up that creek without a paddle in no time. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart, yeah. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart, yeah. Don't break my heart, don't break my heart, 'cause I'll break your heart, yeah. Yeah, so don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart, yeah. So don't break my heart, no, 'cause I'll break your heart.
And that was Susan Ammons playing Don't Break My Heart. And that is track one off of her new release, No Restraint. And let's give away a copy of her No Restraint release right now. And right now, caller 4 can choose between a CD or a vinyl record, and it's not a black vinyl record. How would you describe that pattern?
This vinyl is a like a smoky swirl. It's kind of see-through. It's a very, really cool record, and I'm super happy with the way these records came out. There's some really great packaging. This vinyl includes a full-color poster inside, and yeah, it's really, really cool.
All right. Well, right now, caller 4 at 614-821-9223 will pick up either the CD copy or the swirly vinyl record copy of No Restraint. That's her latest. That's for caller 4 at 614-821-9223. After the next song, we'll give away another copy of No Restraint. The winner will either get what's left over, either the CD or the vinyl record, but right now this caller will get to choose which one they want. And a little bit of this release was recorded at Abbey Road Studios.
It was. So No Restraint is the follow-up record to my 2019 Steel Hearts album. Steel Hearts was recorded in London at Abbey Road in Studio 2. It included the London Philharmonic Symphony, tons of lush orchestra arrangements, big soulful blues record. And originally No Restraint was going to be due out in 2021, and we were recording in 2020 just to follow it up. And so things kind of got, by the wayside when 2020 happened. So I had to wait a little while. But yes, so part of this album, which is the string arrangements, was recorded in London at Studio 2. We wanted there to be sort of a bleed over from the Steel Hearts album, and we wanted to sort of carry over some of the elements from Steel Hearts into the new record, but also kind of have it be its own thing.
And the last time you were here in the studio, it was on the Global Village with Maggie, and that was just shortly before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Tell us where you were when everything got shut down.
Well, I was in New Braunfels, Texas, which is where I live. It's south of Austin and north of San Antonio, and we were scheduled to go into the studio that month. My producer at the time was over in London at Studio 2. He was recording the string arrangements and the tracks for this album. So he literally got on one of the last flights out of London and got back to America. He almost got stuck there for, it would have been 3 or 4 months. So luckily, he got back over to the States with these tracks in hands, with the orchestration in hands. And originally, we were supposed to get into the studio, and that did not happen. So we had to put off the studio time for several months until things kind of were okay. And then we kind of got into the studio. It was about 6 months later, but we were super careful. We were socially distancing, and we had to sort of create a bubble, if you will, with just a handful of players. And that just included Glenn Fukunaga on the bass, and he used to tour with the Dixie Chicks and Sean Colvin. And then J.J. Johnson played drums on this record, so and he's played with John Mayer and Tedeschi Trucks band, and now he's with Gary Clark Jr. But this was my rhythm section, so between the two of them, then myself and my producer Dave, we played every other instrument that you hear on the record besides the orchestration from Abbey Road. And
you're not playing in town tonight, but you are going to play some shows here soon. Will these be acoustic solo performances, or are you going to have people joining you? My goal is to pick up where I left off in 2019, which was I was getting out into markets that I'm not familiar with and trying to establish myself in markets outside of Texas, with the goal being to eventually come up here with my band and play some festival dates, sort of kind of get into the Northeast region and sort of connect some dots. So now I'm picking up where I left off, and eventually, yes, that is my goal for next year, is I will be focusing on festivals with my band. All right. Well, let's hear another song, then we'll chat a little bit more. Give us a little background on this song. Okay, so this is the next track on the record. It's called Not That Far Away. And it's
I'll give you the short version because the longer version is kind of sad, and we don't want to sadden the listeners. It's a bittersweet song, but the silver lining of this song is that no matter where a loved one might be, you're always under the same sky. They're not that far away.
I wait by the phone, you never call me. I wonder where you are and what you're doing. Luck would have it that you call right after I leave for the evening. Ooh, yeah. 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 But it helps to know. But it helps to know we're under the same sky. We're under the same moon tonight. We're under the same stars. And I know you're not that far away. So I get in my car and flip through the stations. Accelerator and my mind is racing. No good music on and I think I could use a little patience. Yeah. 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 But it helps to know. But it helps to know we're under the same sky. We're under the same moon tonight. We're under the same stars. And I know you're not that far away. We're under the same sky. We're under the same moon tonight. We're under the same stars. And I know you're not that far away. And I know you're not that far away.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Susan Ammons live in Studio A. That was another track from No Restraint, her latest. That was track 2 off of that release. We'll give away another copy of No Restraint now, and it'll either be a CD or a vinyl record. Caller 4 will just have to call in and find out which one it is. CD? Is that okay? It'll be a CD right now for caller 4 at 614-821-9223. That's for the No Restraint release from Susan Ammons. And you recorded with other musicians on that release, although you and your producer ended up playing most of the instruments, right?
Correct. So it was really just 4 people on this record. And myself, my producer, J.J. Johnson on drums, and Glenn Fukunaga. So between the 4 of us, that's everything you hear on the record. I'm playing the mandolin and banjo, and Dave's playing piano and Hammond, and I'm playing the Wurlitzer, the piano. We, with COVID kind of in place and everyone, the lockdown, we sort of had a little bit of time, and we got to take some chances, and we had some fun. So we pretty much got out all the toys at the studio and just started plugging in amps and like, well, let's play with this. And what if we, just had a ton of fun just getting to do that. And so it made for a really interesting record because Dave had scored a handful, like 5 of these songs on this record. He scored them and then went to London and recorded the orchestration. And then when he brought them back, then we were playing around the orchestration versus the orchestration filling in afterwards. So it was sort of like a reverse engineering sort of a process, and it was a different way to kind of make a record. And I think the end result is a lot of fun. By far, probably one of my favorite sounding records I've ever made.
So today you're playing some solo acoustic versions of songs on that release, and there's also a few stripped down acoustic videos out there as well. Where can people go to check those out?
So you can find them on YouTube, or you can also go to my website, seasonammons.com. And Season is my real first name, and it's spelled just like it sounds, Season, Ammons, Ammons. And if you just look up Season Ammons on YouTube, on my channel, all the videos are there, and it's an acoustic trio, so there's an upright bass player, Kyle Etier, and Jane Gordon on the drums, and so it's still a cool acoustic version of these studio songs, and I kind of like doing things like that where people can hear a different nuance and different variation of these songs, because they all start off just like how you hear them now, and then you get to go in the studio and flourish them up, and that's fun too. But I think it's also fun to have stripped down versions as well.
Well, here's a question for the techno geeks listening out there. Your guitar looks a little different. What exactly is that?
This is a carbon fiber guitar, and it's a McPherson. And what's great about it is that no truss rod, so it will never need a neck adjustment. It can go from Texas heat all the way up to like Boston, where I'm going in the next couple of days. It can withstand, freezing and burning, and it's just never gonna. This thing's almost indestructible. So it's a very great travel guitar. It flies well, won't. Like I said, warp or bend, and it sounds really good. I mean, I know. There could be some guitar purists out there. I typically like to play a Martin. Martin's my favorite, and some other guitars that I have as well. But this, for what it is, it's a great guitar. It sounds good, and it travels really well. It's definitely a road dog.
Well, you grew up in Texas, ended up relocating to Nashville, moving around a little bit, but now you're back in Texas. Are you in Texas to stay?
Yes, Texas is my home. I was born and raised in Dallas, and I love Texas. I live in Hill Country, which is where I was saying in New Braunfels, and there's just a nice little pocket that runs in between San Antonio and Austin, and the music really flourishes there. There's a great music scene, lots of little towns that love to support their Texas artists, but I am on the road quite a bit, so I'm not really home too much. I'm sort of a gypsy, and the road is more or less my home more than anything else. But
in your time in Nashville, is there any particular story or something you recall from those days that you like to think about from time to time?
Well, I moved there when I was 19 years old, so I was just a kid. I just turned 44 this year. And I look back on those years as very informative. I didn't go to college. I sort of went to Nashville instead. And everybody thought I was crazy because I had no friends, no family, no money, no job, just your classic Nashville story. I just moved up there. And it was an adventure for me. It was a lot of fun because I just learned who I was as a person, super independent. Learned how to, hustle, multiple jobs, went to writing workshops, open mics, learned a lot about the business. I learned quite a bit. So it was very, I didn't go up there necessarily naive because I had been kind of hell on wheels since I was 14. So I had already moved out of the house when I was 17 and knew everything, obviously. And, so it was just a really good experience for me. I still love going to Nashville. I'll be going there in just a few weeks. I'm going to Americana Fest. I've got several showcases out there. So when I go to Nashville, it always feels very nostalgic for me, kind of like a second home in a way. And I still have friends and connections and writing partners out there. So it's always a good time.
All right. Well, thanks for coming back to Studio A. Susan Ammons here with us this morning. And she's going to take us out here with the song. Is this also off of your new one?
It sure is. This is the 9th track on this record. The song's called Help Me. And I did write it during the pandemic. I was influenced by Little Ray Charles meets Memphis Minnie.
Working all day till the sun sinks low, sweating my fingers down to the bone. I don't want to live life anymore, breaking my spirit down to the core. So won't you help me, yeah? Won't you help me, yeah? Lord, help me, yeah. Won't you help me lay my worries down, 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 down? Help me lay my worries down. Yeah. Help me lay my worries down. Now, baby done left me some time ago. Now the days are so long and the nights are cold. He would only just come back to me. I'd stop drowning in this misery. So won't you help me, yeah? Won't you help me, yeah? Lord, help me, yeah. Oh, won't you help me lay my worries down, 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 down? Yeah. Help me lay my worries down. Yeah. Help me lay my worries down. I guess I'll just drink my days away. I can't seem to find a better way. Yeah. I can't go on living my life this way. I doubt I'll see another day. Yeah. So won't you help me? Yeah. Lord, help me. Yeah. Lord, help me. Yeah. Oh, won't you help me lay my worries down, 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 down? Help me lay my worries down. Yeah. Oh, help me lay my worries